On October 4th, 2021, the social network Facebook and its additional companies Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus became globally unavailable for a period of 6 to 7 hours. The outage also prevented anyone trying to use login with Facebook from accessing any third-party sites. Welcome to another episode of Devs Like Us. Round robin, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I'm good, blessed, highly favored, usual.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Can't complain. Still got a lot of good Halloween candy from the kids. And it's been good. It's nice enjoying fall, fall, everything's good. But round robin, I'm trying to think of any highlights. That's pretty much it. I'm about
No,
to catch a flight. I'm glad I was able to spend some time with y'all before going out of town for a little bit.
so no other highlights? None.
No other highlights. Pretty bland.
Oh, okay.
Pretty bland. How about you, JB? Any highlights for you?
Let me see. Basketball season's about to start, so
Oh,
it's that.
yes.
About to have my first game in, since March of 2020. So we'll see how this goes.
Catch JB on your
Nice.
local news wave says referee
Nice.
passes out.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny, JB. I actually tried to run a 5K this week, and
Ooh,
boy, do I breathe
ooh.
hard.
Oh.
I was so tired.
See, you got to ease into the
Yeah, I was
5K.
You
about
got to
That's
to
ease
say.
that's
into it.
that's too
Yeah.
much. Like,
Yeah,
In my
couch to
head, I can
5K.
still run, and I'm light feather. I'm like,
yeah,
boy,
you
I
got to you
felt
got to do
that
like
way
half
every.
a mile first.
I felt it,
Walk them out, walk, run, all that stuff
and
before you just
yeah.
out the gate.
Are you
And
familiar with
I
couch to
was looking at my
5K?
Fitbit, so I googled. I said, "Oh, what's a respectable, what's a elite uh
And they said
5K
about
run time?" And it
oh
was like 15 minutes, 17
yeah,
minutes. I'm like, "Oh, that ain't nothing." And I looked up, and then I went to the different interface of my Fitbit. I'm like, "Oh, I'm almost there, and I only got like one more mile left." It was saying my pace was 15 minutes, not
yeah,
that I was at
Mm.
15 minutes on going into the
yeah,
third mile. My pace for each mile was 15 minutes. So, still got a little work there if I want to be elite.
yeah. Back when I
But
was
hey,
active, I was doing like what 12-minute miles.
yeah, they're doing like 8 minute miles.
Yeah, I ain't
You
never
know,
done
three
that.
3.1 times.
Yeah, I didn't push my workout that far to get to the 8, 7 minute group. So yeah, high school
Exactly.
had it.
There
Now,
you go.
Are y'all familiar with couch to 5K? That usually helps out a lot with that.
no, I've never.
Really? You
Nah,
never
man.
heard of it?
No,
What is
Really?
it, Clarence?
Couch to 5K is basically so the same
increment.
process that JB mentioned is kind of the same thing where you start off in all intervals. So like you work your way up to a mile and so forth, right? So you start off like you run like 60 seconds, you walk for 90 seconds, and then as the days go on, you can do like I think it's like 3 days a week, 5 days a week, something like that. But as the weeks and days go on, you keep reducing how much you walk in, you increase how much you run, and to a point where I think it's really a confidence builder and also to help you
Oh,
with your
okay.
breathing.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
smart. That's
yeah.
smart. What's the name for it? So I've heard of that, but I didn't know the name.
Couch to 5K.
Oh, okay. They just
Let's get to
they
this
they
5K.
commercialized it, but yeah, that's just easing into it. That's what you described, JB. That's easing into
Yeah, you just
it.
I think
slide on
That's
there's
smart though.
even
I
an app
like it.
for it.
It's catchy. All right, I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out. So how about you, Clarence? Any highlights this week?
any
No,
big
no, no big news right now. I'm still trying to finish up some projects. I consider my whole life as a WIP work in progress. So
mm. What about that project? Well, I'm gonna finish that project, but I'm on to this project now, so we'll see how it
Exactly.
goes.
I was telling my wife I think I need a whiteboard so I can keep them all, at least put all of my projects up there. It's
I
gonna
don't
be a
think
big
there's enough
whiteboard.
whiteboard space.
No way you don't already have one, Clarence. You seem like you have a couple.
No, he's still on the clipboards.
Yeah, I'm on the clipboard way, but I need a whiteboard. So,
Yeah.
but maybe in the future office.
Right.
The next one.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. So, my first question when I heard this news, first of all, Facebook is almost never like down, at least to the point where everybody like knows it. So, shouts out to all the engineers at Facebook and all the site reliability engineers at Facebook for keeping it up and running for so much. But my question is, how many of you all use like the third party like OAuth or login? So like I always use Google. Like I use Google for everything. If there's an option for Google to log in, I'm like yes, take advantage of this, so I don't have to remember a password. So basically, Facebook also has that option. So a lot of people use Facebook to log in and stuff, and this was down for like 6 or 7 hours. So if you have a Facebook login to like a third party site, you weren't able to get in like basically all day. So do you all use any of like these other third party logins?
Google.
Yeah, just Google.
And
yeah, I always feel like
that's also a rare case for me, like, because I'm always like, in a case like this, like, what if I can't get in? Like,
true. Yeah, I'm kind of old school too, because some stuff, depending on what it is, I still write it down in a little book.
I was about to ask if that's what you meant by old school.
Yeah, or a sticky note somewhere handy where I remember where it is. I know
until that one
practice.
day that you tear up the house, because like, I know it's around here somewhere. It's like I got 15 minutes to find it before I need to log in.
Right.
Yeah, I'm old school. I kick it old school every once in a while with stuff.
No, I'll just stick with my password fatigue, or just go with like one of the apps. Like what's that? One of them's what, LastPass or something like that.
Yeah.
Just one of like the password vaults.
Yeah. So yeah. So what did anybody seem like people of course on the end user end were freaking out about this?
Yeah.
Any good stories about you all being in a situation where your service was down and needed to get back up?
Like you talking about work services or just Facebook social media being down?
Anything. Yeah.
I know I got a pretty good story that I heard in regards to the Facebook being down. A friend of mine had posted in a group chat that he saw, I guess this one person had theirs up before it actually went all the way down. And when they were seeing the news that Facebook was down, they had replied that was like, well, dang, now that Facebook's down, nobody's going to know it's my birthday today.
Aww. Poor thing. Ain't nobody even tell them happy birthday.
I was like, that's kind of sad. It's sad and funny at the same time because you're just like, well, I hope your close family remembers, but you know.
That's where they got their joy from, and now it's all gone.
Some people really do look for. I know back in the MySpace days, people definitely used to look forward to their birthdays. It's like, oh, my wall about to be lit this today.
Yeah. It's my birthday falling from the ceiling.
Yeah, them little glittery teddy bears saying happy birthday.
They spinning around.
Exactly.
But I think it was. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, for me, I was working from home that day, and so I was finally being a diligent work from homer. So yeah, I didn't really notice it until I think I had like a Twitter message pop up, and that kind of got me into the scroll of things, and I was like, well, let's see what the feed says, and then I saw somebody that was like, Facebook and Instagram are down, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't know. So I went and, tried it a couple times. Like, oh, it is down, and just kind of moved on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard on Twitter there were a lot of good Facebook memes.
Oh, yeah.
Going on Twitter. So I think the funniest one for me was, those Halloween shops that pop up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like they only pop up for a certain period of time. So they basically made like the Halloween pop-up shop. They made that like with the Twitter headline, basically like all the Facebook, Instagram users, like they had that itch. They needed social media. So
right.
They just
it's like I gotta talk to Twitter.
Somebody. And so I was weak. That was like
speaking of all the people who were like flooding to other apps, like the amount of apps who like either crashed or like slowed down because of this outage was just a lot. So like the app Signal, I know got a lot of people, like a lot of new people downloading because of the fact that WhatsApp was down. It's like I need to, get in contact with people because a lot of third world countries actually use WhatsApp to communicate with family and things like that. And so it's like
Yeah.
this is really important to me. And so, a lot of these applications were like we weren't prepared for this type of, bandwidth because of the fact that we were, slowly starting to ramp up based on the usage that we were getting. But now we have a whole bunch of people flocking to use. That was like,
Exactly.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that slow rollout, sometimes really bites you because like I didn't know this was coming today. I didn't know on October 4th that, all these apps were going to shut down and everybody was going to flock to me.
True.
And I can't really handle, what's going on. So, yeah.
Right.
True.
And what's another thing that brings to mind for me, like just from like a architecture standpoint, it's like I've seen some of the stuff that come out, and then I know JB. I think you have the article from like the engineering team. They have like an
Mhm.
official report, and there's still some other reasons for why they said the outage happened and why it happened for so long. I heard configuration management was one thing, and then somebody else said like the networking piece. There was some issues there where they had to like they couldn't do it from remote. They had to like literally find the
So,
physical
yeah.
hardware. But how tightly coupled do you want something so critical to be? Like when you look at microservices and you look at like it just seems like a lot to be on like one single service.
Yeah.
It does seem like a lot, but for me personally, I'm like, well, at least it's secure. That the fact that you know, it's like, dang, if everything went down, we can't even access it, remotely anymore. It's like we actually have to go, physically work through this problem. And so it's like secure in that sense of like you're keeping everyone out, including yourself, but it sucks in the fact that it's like you have tools for this purpose, but you couldn't use those tools because of the fact that all your networking was just scatterbrained at the time because your network configurations for your routers was wrong.
Mm.
I feel sorry for whoever sent that out. Same way we felt sorry for the intern that sent that message out to Terrence and everyone else who had what was it, HBO?
Disney Plus. Was it
Yeah,
HBO?
I
HBO.
want to say it was HBO Max.
Yeah,
yeah.
HBO
HBO.
And
Max.
so it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
like feel sorry for the person who pushed the button and said yes, because it's like you're the reason that we had this configuration issue. Like now, like we've been down for the day and we've lost X number of what was it? Was it $billions?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like
yeah.
60, I think
Yeah.
it was. And so it's like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
that ad revenue.
Yeah, I think I wonder from like a legal standpoint, like what are they liable for? Because you got to think, so a lot of people, they other than the end users that eat and breathe social media or just their platform, think about the people, the businesses that are generating the revenue for, I'm pretty sure there's some give and some get there, where they use the platform, they're paying back to it, and now you've removed that for I forget how long it was out for, but just thinking for a period of time, some people that are generating
Yeah.
a bunch of money, like I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
money
knocking on the
and
door.
like just money is a good point, Clarence, and just like life in general, stuff that you can't put a price on. A lot of those people, as JB mentioned too, a lot of people that are using WhatsApp, like they want that encryption and stuff in the messaging
Mhm.
because like they're in danger, like they're in a dangerous country where like if people find out there's like that they're communicating to certain entities or certain people. Like some people, it's like from just you're not allowed to protest, so you can't like be shown that you're organizing and doing things of that nature. So it's like
Mhm.
Yeah,
sometimes we think of Facebook as just likes and sharing fun stuff, but like a lot of people use it is like almost getting to a point where like WhatsApp can be like critical infrastructure for some people, like
Yeah.
yeah,
from a
true.
messaging
That's
standpoint.
true.
So
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
and then another cool thing is even a lot of people within I think it was Kelsey Hightower from like the Kubernetes community. He was just talking about one of the services they used to run were basically the people who use like the EBT cards, and basically saying like when they went out, people couldn't use like that card to pay for their food, and so like the system just was, it would basically act as if like they didn't have the money there if the system was down. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's so many important things, because doesn't Facebook have currency too? Don't they have that? They do have like a current. They actually.
I think they're in the works of it, I believe, from what I've
Oh,
heard.
maybe that's what it was. Well, people they have Facebook Market. That's enough. All right, they sell stuff. All right.
Yeah.
You get food, can't get food. Yeah.
I
That
don't
was
know.
that same energy.
I think from like an end user standpoint though, I mean this kind of just seeing this outage. I mean we've seen apps down before, and like kind of a similar thing. You kind of switch to another app to kind of fill the void. But I guess what it really showed from like a psychological standpoint, like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
We're fully
Some people
emerged.
eat, breathe, social media. Like they need that interaction. And it's one of those things where for us that grew up without, like,
Yeah,
we started out without like social media and all that stuff, and then it just gradually became a part of us. Like we're like, oh, okay, we can go outside and talk to people, go shopping, whatever. But for like the younger generations who have only known social media and interaction has mostly been online, it's like, but what am I going to do now? Like, who do I talk to? Like, where I can't even
yeah.
talk to my friends anymore because their friends are not just the kids who live in their neighborhood or go to
Mhm.
their school. Their friends are across the country, across the world. And so it's like, wait, I can't go talk to such and such anymore. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I remember there was a conference or some type of meetup that I was at, and they were talking about how I forgot the all the what it entailed, but it was basically like at the rate things were going technology wise, eventually we would hit a blackout, right? A
Mhm.
big blackout, pretty much everything down. And like kind of seeing this from, I consider this Facebook thing small scale, although it is a huge scale, but from a blackout standpoint, right? If we have people losing their minds, or for whatever their good reason is, right, for
Mhm.
an app being down, just imagine when if we had a blackout, like what kind of havoc are we going to be looking at, where
Man, they're gonna
people,
flood the streets.
yeah, is this purge, is this where the purge spell comes out? you know it's scary.
Yeah. Um, but it also goes into like people need to figure out an identity, what their identity is outside of the social media realm, and things like that. But on the technical side, it's like, do you keep pushing to get them, you know, to get it in front of people's faces for longer?
Mhm.
So yeah.
Is that the, I know we don't have it listed and we probably will talk about it later, but is that where metaverse comes into play? Because I heard that's going to just swarm. That's going to be even more emerged in making things worse. I mean, I don't want to get too much in detail about it, but the sounds of it sounds pretty cool from a technical side, but at the same time, wow.
Same as me, Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just it'll end up being even more products and stuff people depend on that are down. So
Definitely.
yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm kind of interested to see some of like the postmortems or stuff or lessons learned that come out later down the line, as far as like availability and how to like prevent, at least to get the time down. The biggest thing to me wasn't the fact that it was down, but for how long it was
Yeah,
down. It was
what,
what was surprising.
almost 6 hours.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was surprising. So, um, but like I said, it doesn't happen often. But I
Yeah.
was just, for us to not happen often and to happen for so long was surprising. So,
But one thing that's also like really big to me is the fact that you don't really understand the reach of a company until it's unavailable.
Mm.
And so to
That's deep.
see how big this problem like reached across the world, um, It's like it's kind of concerning how much stuff runs off Facebook. And then when you think about this and the Amazon outage that happened a while back, like look how much stuff shut down from the Amazon like outage. And so when you put these two things together, how much of the world would be a part of that blackout
Yeah,
if like all this just stopped?
yeah, yeah,
And so it's like I feel like we as a country, world, planet, whatever version you want to use, we've put our eggs in too few baskets
hmm
when it comes to supplying and connecting people. Um, Granted, it doesn't mean that people shouldn't be connected, but maybe we have, AWS, and AWS works with Azure to figure out how we can communicate, smoothly to where, we can just have parts of things here while other parts are here so that you can have that redundancy. Um, Granted, that's in a very, very perfect world because money runs the world right now. And so that possibility is not really foreseeable. So,
for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then hybrid cloud is one thing, but when you're like the service
mhm.
provider, it's like how much is a service provider going to lean on other service providers? So,
Yeah,
but that's
it's
yeah,
like a
that's a
group
good
project.
point.
You
Yeah.
know, they're doing, I'm doing way more work than they're doing, and yada yada, and it becomes an issue. Or, um, or if a company decides that they want to use both, it's like now, like using these two usually comes with contracts when it comes to companies. And so deciding to use one more than the other one, that's going to become an issue because it's like, no, we want you, if you're going to use us both, then it has to be a 50-50 trade, or someone's going to want you to use them more than the other. And then pricing becomes an issue because, sending so much data from Amazon may be a different price than sending so much data through Azure and all that stuff. So, yeah, no such thing as a perfect world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So sounds like some good stuff. Good info there. Um,
I try.
I have some feedback on my end, but anybody have any other closing thoughts? I don't want to my got a little feedback over here, so I'll probably mute out for a second. But
Closing thoughts. Get
any big thing?
outside. Get out. Meet people, the old fashioned way. uh,
Yeah,
don't have family communications through just one means. Like go ahead and create that backup account that the family or the business, because there's a lot of businesses that run through WhatsApp as well. So like go ahead and set up that backup so that this is not your end all be all type of thing.
yeah. I think to kind of piggyback on what JB said, for my final thoughts is that like, you know, to tie things together with just the times in general, right? One thing that we've learned throughout just not only the pandemic but over the course of time is that we all have to, adapt. And with the outage, for some people it was good. For some people it was good for them because they had a chance to disconnect. For some people, that were relying on it, so sorry that whatever they lost or whoever they weren't able to connect to. But those old fashioned ways that these platforms were built off of, just to make life better, like those things still work at the core. So like JB said, definitely establish multiple means, or at least try your best to kind of have backups in order, especially in a case of communication. Like, it's big, everybody's staying connected, but pick up the phone, call. I mean, if you're across the country, that might be not the easiest thing, but just one of those things, because this was 6 hours now. Who's to say next time it won't be longer? Or, it might not, it might be the end all be all. We don't know what could happen. So, just be sure to rely on those core things, core values first, and then, you know, worry about the rest of it later.
And classic Clarence. And another thing, um, um, I do want to say that for us, we are privileged enough to not have to worry about the dangers that come with trying to have certain accesses. So um, I just don't want it to leave it as if we're neglecting those needs of the people who really needed WhatsApp, because that was a secure communication channel for them.
And the only option, yeah, because
Yeah.
phone lines is definitely a luxury for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
I just want to recognize the fact that we're privileged for that. And so I know that there are there were quite a few like African countries that were affected by the fact that WhatsApp was down and not being able to communicate with their family members for, various of reasons and things like that. So I just wanted to put that up.
Good cleanup.
All right, well, that's a wrap, y'all. My name is Terrence.
I'm Clarence.
JB.